So some people seem to be more decisive than others, Rachel, right? Just by nature. And so I really want this study to help people that feel stuck, that don't feel like they have, the details about what they should do about the situation. And so we look at 6 decisions you can make even when you don't specifically know what to do about a situation. And those are the decision to remember God's faithfulness in the past through his word and in our own lives, the decision to obey, not partially, but fully to obey the Lord. Because like we talked about, our obedience has a ripple effect. And if you're not sure how you're supposed to obey God, his word is full of things. You can just start right there, like your podcast. Love the Lord with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love others as yourselves. That will keep you busy for a long time in obeying the Lord, a lifetime, right? So we've got decision to remember, the decision to obey, the decision to be responsible. We see all the way back in the garden, right? Adam and Eve, when they sinned, they pointed the blame at others instead of taking responsibility. So sometimes we want a rescue from our situation, but God is actually allowing natural consequences to teach us. And sometimes we find ourselves suffering, not necessarily because of sin, but because we're actually doing something right. And I think that's something we don't talk about. Like with Job, he was actually doing a good job following the Lord, and times were hard. And so sometimes we're suffering because of sin, sometimes just living in a fallen world, but sometimes it's because we're doing things right. And then the next one is the decision to endure. I think a lot of times we can have commitment issues, right? We don't want to endure for the long haul. We want that quick fix. The next one is the decision to rise. And we talked about that a little bit earlier with Deborah, that she rose to her God-given position. She didn't overstep, but she didn't shrink back. And then lastly, probably one of my favorites is the decision to testify to what God has done, because that fortifies our faith. And that sparks others on in their faith as well. I love to hear testimonies from other people's lives. And even the story I shared about Lakeland Faith, that is a testimony of something that God did. And hopefully it will spur someone else on to speak up when God prompts them.